So in this video, we're going to be building a Black+Decker Workmate 425 portable work center and device. This is model WM425. This is sort of the heavier duty, larger version of the Workmate 125, which we built in a previous video. Generally speaking, I'd say the instructions for these are lacking, so the video might be helpful. Here I have the unit itself laid out as it comes flat packed with the parts. You have some sliders here that go under the wood top. You have your bolts, your bench dogs. You have a socket for putting those bolts in place, and then you have your handle pieces on the end. The first thing you'll want to do is to open this up. This is right side up like this, and you want to get these feet and pop them out. Next step is to open it up. You're going to use this spring-loaded little button right there. There's one on each side. You have to do them at the same time. Now it's locked in place. These little white pieces look important, but they're not. They're just here to stabilize this piece while it's being shipped. You want to take this off and throw them out. You just open this C piece up and slide it away, and it'll come off like that. Next up, we're going to install the slider piece. This one's confusing because you have 2 of these and 4 of these, and they look identical unless you take a really close examination of them. You want the piece that looks like this, where it has a flat piece sticking out of it. This one over here, you can see it has a little flange on it. That's not what we need. So again, it's this one right here. There'll be 2 of them. So you need to get these 2 pieces, place them up here with this piece sticking up. They just sit there. It's really confusing. Don't worry about it. And what you're gonna do is get this thin piece of wood, or the smaller, less wide piece of wood that says Workmate 425 on it. And you want this text readable. If you have the foot piece in front of you, then get this piece so you could read it. You'll notice that there is a little V right here. That is going to be facing away from you because this is the clamp, and you want this little V piece on the interior of the clamp. This gets placed right on top, and you just have to find the right holes. It'll be the medium-sized hole. It'll be a perfect fit, and it's going to go like that. Right now, it's just sitting on top, but don't worry about it, which we're going to put the bolts in a second. So this part's a little tricky. You're going to get the bolt piece here and the socket piece here. Put the bolt in like this. It has to line up with the hole. And now it has to line up with this piece down here. You'll see this has to face up, and there'll be a threaded piece right here. The bolt has to go in there, and now you need to wait till it catches. Don't tighten it down. Go to the other side. Then you could crank them down. You have to make sure it's catching the white piece on the bottom. Once it is, you'll do like maybe 10 turns, and you could tighten it down. This piece will be stable, and it'll be at a nice right angle against the sidebar right here. Next up, we have one of the toughest parts of the build and one of the most frustrating ones. You need to install this handle piece. There'll be 2 of them. You need to install it right here on this turning knob, which is what opens and closes your vise. The hard part about this is it's going to use this little pressure pin, or whatever this is called. It's a little C-shaped piece. This goes here, you line up the hole, and now this fits in the hole, and you need to tap it in with a hammer as per the instructions. The number one way to make this easy on yourself, make sure that this piece is as far towards you as possible. If it's too far in, you won't be able to find the hole. So pull it out. This way you could definitely find the hole. Now you'll feel it is there, because if you apply some pressure to this piece, the handle won't want to move. The instructions say to hit it in with a hammer right now. I've not had any luck with that, but we'll try this time. It's going a little bit. It's really not ideal. What I've done in the past is I'd recommend using a big pair of channel locks or something else and you can squeeze it into place. Perfect. If a little bit exposed, it's okay, but it's always nice to get your edges nice and clean, so we'll put it in the rest of the way. If you move the handles together, the top piece will slide open and shut. This is the handle. You're gonna wanna pop it in here. This might require a lot of pressure, or it might be very easy. Didn't seem like too much of a problem there for me. Sometimes they are very tight. That happens, and you could use that channel lock again or something like that. No problems here. It has been very hard on the 125. Okay, for the next step, you're going to get this piece. You'll have 4 of them. You'll notice the flange here and the flat piece here. And you want to put them in this hole on the top. This is gonna be the closest hole to your wood top. If you had you're playing with the wood top and you put it too far away from you, you won't be able to fit this in here, and it's gonna get confusing. So make sure you have the clamp piece all the way towards you. Now get the flange, put it in here. You'll notice it can move forward and back. If it moves back, it's locked in because of how that flange is designed. The flat piece will go up here, and that'll fit inside the wood top piece, just like it did before. You have 2 of them, so do it for each side. Next up, we're going to get the middle wood piece. This is the one with this angle gauge on it, and we're going to put it on the top. Again, the flat piece here goes into the front hole. Your bolts will go in the back hole. We have these pieces lined up. They're in line with each other, pushed all the way back, so we know they're at a flat angle with each other. And we line up 1, get 2 of the remaining 4 bolts. We'll drop it in. And this one is going to thread right into that plastic piece, so we don't have to worry about catching anything on the bottom. So this, you'll want to turn it with the socket until the head of that bolt is recessed, so it's totally flat here. You want to also make sure that when you're done, this piece can pop back and pull out cleanly. Now it's locked in. You do it right on both sides, it'll pull right out. Now you're gonna repeat that step 1 final time. You get the flange piece, you put it in the back. You may have to put it in sideways the way I did, where you have to turn it, put it in. Anyway, if you can't get it in, move the middle piece all the way towards you and it will fit. Do the same on the other side. Move them all the way back away from you so they're level, and install the final piece of wood. The last piece of wood will be the one that says Black+Decker. It'll be facing you, so legible for you, with the V part, which is the interior of the vise, will be facing you. You're using these smallest holes to line up. Now drop those sockets in where there's the recessed mount, and you should be good to go. So at this point, most of the work is done. You will be able to tighten this down, and if you apply some pressure, you'll have a table. This piece will be solid in the middle. Everything will face you. You can read it. It's a flat work surface. You can install these bench dogs if you want to use them. They'll pop right in. And they can be used on both sides here and here to secure any work pieces you might have. You'll just open and close the top and clamp them in between the dogs. At this point, you can also remove the middle piece if you'd like. And now you have your vise. You could also open and close it. To do that, you're gonna have to remove this factory installed zip tie. You can pull the handle towards you to enable the vertical clamp pull out. Again, pull it. When you want to put this away, it's not really explained well in the instructions, but you're gonna use these spring buttons again. And use that, push it up, and then pull it towards you. It's gonna collapse it down. You also can close the feet. Now it's collapsed. You can see it's relatively flat. And I left the table piece out. You could have put that back if you wanted. Now it'll fit in the back of a car or back of a truck without any real problems. And that pretty much covers it. That's the Workmate 425. How to build it, how to collapse it, how to use the device. Thanks for watching.